9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, boom, boom. Rowie, how often should I train? It's a really important question. How often should you exercise? How often should you put your body under intense activity? How often should you work your body so that you can be fit and strong? And I always answer with this great question: how often do you want to feel good? Because every time you get puffed, you pump happy transmitters into your brain, which means you feel better. Not only do you feel better, dopamine reward drug, serotonin satisfaction neurotransmitter, brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is fertilizer for your brain, which means your brain works better. So not only do you feel good, but you can think more clearly, be more creative, solve challenges, come up with solutions. What a great thing to be able to do with your body. So how often should you get puffed? My answer is, how often do you want to feel good? And I get puffed at least 4 times an hour, sometimes more. When I'm working in the garden, I get puffed for 10 seconds, get my breath back, get puffed for 10 seconds, get my breath back. And I do that because I love feeling good. So there's my first question: how often do you want to feel good? And that's about getting puffed. To be strong, obviously to get fit, you've got to get puffed. To be strong, it's a little bit different. Because muscles, when you lift heavy, when you overload at 100% effort in the phosphate system, you put micro tears in your muscles. So if a muscle's got a tear in it, it has to recover from that. It has to recuperate, regenerate, then supercompensate. And I love that word, supercompensate, which means it's got to get stronger. Now, how often should you put your muscles under intense activity? The answer is, or the question I'll ask is, why would you put your muscles under intense activity until they have supercompensated? How can you get stronger if your muscle hasn't gotten stronger? So you could go and lift heavy things over and over and over, but you'll just keep putting micro tears in the muscles, which means they don't have a chance to get stronger, which means your strength training becomes a waste of time, so you don't get stronger. Silly, silly, silly. So how often or how long does it take for muscles to recover, regenerate, supercompensate, and who the hell knows? Shouldn't that answer be determined by not some social media guru, not some expert in exercise? That's determined by your lifestyle, yeah? How well do you sleep? How hydrated are you? What's your nutrition like? Do you have a body that recovers quickly? Are you on steroids? Because steroids help you recover quickly. There's a whole heap of things that stop us from recovering and getting stronger, and there's a whole heap of things that activate recovery. So if you sleep really well, if you've got great nutrition, if you're hydrated, if you're not stressed, you'll recover quicker. But if you're the opposite, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating well, if you're dehydrated and your life's a bit shit at the moment, it's going to take you longer to recover. So how do you know that you're ready to train again? And that's called lift heavy. Get puffed as many times as you possibly can. Don't go again till you're fully recovered. And when you exercise, get puffed in the phosphate system, that takes about 2 minutes till you're fully recovered. So you can get puffed every 2 minutes. But lifting is a whole different story. Lifting is to get stronger, and if you haven't gotten stronger, then you haven't recovered. Easy. So when you go to lift something, next time you lift, it's not about doing more exercises, not about doing more repetitions of an exercise. It's not about going to the gym more often. It's simply, if last time I lifted 10, this time I should be able to lift 10 and a half, 11. If last time I lifted 20, this time I should be able to lift a little bit more. If I can't lift a little bit more, I haven't gotten stronger. So the next logical question, of course, is when do you know that you are your strongest, or can you just keep getting stronger? And that answer is now dependent upon what do you want to be strong for. So people often share with me, because I've got this amazing set of golden kettlebells that I lift, and when I do squats with those and lunges, it's 56 kilos of total weight. Now, I worked my way up to that, and now I've gotten older, so I'm lifting the same weight that I did when I was 40, when I was 30, and now I'm closer to 60. So I don't need to get any stronger, I just want to maintain my strength. Every so often, if I go to a gym or if I'm out in the garden, I will certainly lift something that's heavier than 56 kilos, and I will do it 1 or 2 times because I want to make sure that I keep getting stronger. But there's also a fine line between getting stronger and getting stronger for what. I never need to be able to lift 200 kilos, so I'm not aiming to get that strong. So there's a great personal question again. When somebody says to you, you should lift this much, you should lift it this many times, I get a little bit perplexed with that, because the question is always strong for what and fit for what. If you are really fit and really strong, you can do everything. And if you get puffed, you'll get fit. And if you overload your muscles, you'll get strong. So then you can go and do all the fun things that you want to do. Rather than using physical activity to get fit, why not just get puffed doing something at high intensity, lift something heavy at high intensity, and then you can go and do all the things that you want to do. So how often should you put your body into high intense activity mode? Whenever you want to feel good, get puffed and then give yourself time to recover, which takes about 2 minutes. If you want to get stronger, lift something as heavy as you possibly can, use as many muscles as you possibly can at the same time, so you get massive endocrine response, hormonal response, massive central nervous system response, and then give your body time to recover. Now that could take 2 days if you don't lift very heavy. It might take 10 days if you're an elite athlete and you lift really heavy. Who knows? There's no set you should train every 3 days, or you should train every 2 days, or you should train once a week, because you might decide, yes, I'm going to train once a week, but you lifted really heavy and you haven't super compensated yet. So let's use logic and common sense rather than silly science and silly opinions. Train when you want to feel good to get puffed, and lift heavy again when your body has fully recovered, regenerated and super compensated. And then you can do all the cool things that you want to do, including bashing up Basil. Go Basil, go Basil, go Basil, go! Live your life to the max. Woohoo!